Okay, now we're on to chapter 13, and this is a pretty long chapter, so we'll try to get through this. Red decided to scratch me from tonight's game. I can't say whether he was right or wrong for doing it. Emotionally, I was a little bit low, but I thought all the talk from Dick was going to help. Honestly, I was not that disappointed when he told me. The season was only 2 games old, but it seemed like 100 games have gone by. I felt kind of sluggish, even though I hit great during the cage. Maybe I'll get to pinch hit or something. Scott Andrews came up to me as I sat in front of my locker, tapped me on the shoulder, and told me Red wanted to see me in the office. Gus and Mario joined him there. Bill, I know you saw the lineup card tonight without your name on it, Red started. I think tonight is the right thing to do. We'll still probably need you to pinch hit or something. You'll be back in there Tuesday when you take the mound for the first time. I have decided that you will pitch Tuesday night's game just as we planned. Neither Gus, Mario, nor I felt that an extended period of time off is an answer. I'm going to put Del Rey, our backup catcher, at third for tonight. But if the game gets close, I'll probably put you in for defense. Our pitchers deserve a better fate than Del Rey at third base, and I think you'd agree. Mario and Gus started laughing. A smile broke across my face, even though I knew it was bad to think poorly of a teammate. What Red said was true. Having seen Del try to take infield practice with us, it was hard to see someone who's such a great defensive catcher look so lost in the infield. He did have a strong arm and was willing to take anything off his body to block the ball, but just the same, he was considered a liability at third. Red, I understand, I reply. I am a little down, but working with Dick was a big help today. I'll be ready for whatever you need me to do. I appreciate all that you're doing, I really do. It might be good for you to get in a little throwing off the mound in the middle innings in the bullpen. Just don't leave too much out there. We have a game on Tuesday, remember? That's okay with you? That's fine with me, I reply. Anything else? Yeah, go shag some balls in the outfield and get in some running. I think you've had enough BP for the day. And another thing, I just wanted to say how sorry we all are, but we're trusting that everything is going to work out just fine. The Pirate players were all wearing the number 23 on their sleeves in memory of Curtin as I made my way out into the field. The season would be tough enough for them, I thought. Chuck Curtin had a lot of friends on this team. Some of them had been promoted from their rookie league team in Florida with him. Others had just arrived. Don Jackson, our starting pitcher, got through the first inning, giving up only a leadoff single that was erased on a double play. Adams, Tavy, and Andrews took care of that. In our half of the inning, Jones doubled to right center on the first pitch, and then he stole third. Mike Adams hit a pop foul that the Pirate catcher made a nice play on, sliding into their dugout, but he came up with the ball unhurt. Tavy was hitting third, and he stroked the line single to left, going the other way again, scoring Jones with the first run and giving us a 1-0 lead. Reggie Bonds hit a towering fly to the warning track and left that was caught that almost made it 2-0. Scott Andrews struck out to end our half of the first. Through the fourth inning, the teams traded base hits, but could not score any more runs. We still led 1-0 going into the fifth. The Pirates mounted a threat in the top of the fifth. Jackson walked the leadoff hitter. The next batter tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt and dropped the ball just to the left of the mound. Jackson came off the mound, but did not hear Bolton calling him off. As he tried to make the play himself, he reached down for the ball, but his cleats didn't dig in the ground, and he crashed down on the seat of his pants. He tried to get up and make a throw, but it was too late. The Pirates now had men on first and second with nobody out. Mark Moran, their cleanup hitter, was up on the Pirates' bench started to heat up with some chatter. Jackson knew he was in a spot, and now he had that bunt play that he should have let Bolden take all the way, but it was too late to worry about it now. You could tell by the way he was firing the ball into his glove 3 or 4 times as he walked up to the top of the mound. Bolton went out and patted him on the butt, showing encouragement on the way back behind the plate. Jackson knew he had his work cut out for him. He had to be careful pitching to Moran. He couldn't afford to walk him, but Moran hit 35 homers in A last year. Michelson, their big catcher, was on deck and was no easy out either. Jackson threw the first pitch fastball way outside in the dirt, with Bolton making a great play to save it on his knees. Bolton got up and took a couple of steps toward the mound and said something to Jackson as he threw the ball back. Bolton got set as Jackson looked for a sign. He took a deep breath and exhaled really hard. Jackson went set, looked at second, and threw a fastball right down the middle that Moran got all of, depositing it in the next county. Just foul. The crowd gave the largest collective sigh of relief I've ever heard. As soon as the ball left Moran's bat, Red took his hat off and slapped it against his leg. The ball was hit so high and so far, you would have thought it was a rocket launched at Cape Kennedy. The Pirates could have been leading 3-1, but it was nothing but a long, loud, foul strike. Jackson threw Moran nothing but off-speed stuff the rest of the way, striking him out on a wicked curveball in the dirt at Moran's feet. He also got Michelson on an easy pop to short and got a fly ball to left for the third out. The crowd went wild as Jones squeezed it in left center field. Jackson took off his hat and wiped his forehead as he walked off the mound. That was a close one. Amazing what a difference one pitch could make in an inning. "Billy, go grab a bat and hit for Ray," stated Red from the bullpen telephone. "This one-run lead is making me nervous. Get something started for us, will you?" I walked down from the pen along the left field foul line and picked up 2 of my bats and my helmet. As I climbed down the dugout stairs, I stuffed my soft hat in my back right pocket. I dropped my bats into the on-deck circle and pushed my batting helmet onto my head. The bat boy handed me the pine tar rag and the rosin bag. I used a little bit of both on my bat handle. I picked up the weighted bat and began to get loose as I was announced to the crowd. A big roar went up when my name was announced. Reggie was kneeling down in the on-deck circle. Reggie had a big Cheshire Cat grin on his face. He always does. Those white teeth could surely nearly blind somebody. "What are you smiling at, you big lug?" I said. "You know something I don't?" "I always know something you don't," said Reggie. "You rookies don't know anything," he said with a big laugh. "Now go up there and don't embarrass your whole family." With that, I smiled back and made my way to the plate. I stepped into the batter's box and smoothed out the dirt as I found my footing and began to dig in. The Pirate catcher, Moran, winked at me. "Doesn't get any better than this, does it, kid?" he said. "Getting paid to play." "Play ball," said the ump as I took my swings over the plate. I tried to relax as I looked out on the mound. For a moment, I saw the ball jump off my bat and hit Curtin in the face. I asked for time and the ump jumped out from behind. "Are you all right, kid?" asked the ump. "Kid, shake it off," said the catcher. "Get back in here and forget about last night. It's over. It's time to play another game. Come on, let's go." I looked at him and the umpire as they were waiting for me to get set again. He was right. Let's get on with it. I looked at Red, who was clapping his hands in the third base coach's box. "Come on, Billy, hit your pitch," said Red. "I can do this," I said to myself. I'm in the box and I start my routine all over again. I take the first pitch for a called strike, a fastball right down the middle. I should have swung at it, but I just couldn't. My teammates were cheering me on in the dugout, chanting my name. The crowd was getting louder with every passing second. The second pitch was on the way, a fastball inside. I turned on it and hit a rocket just inside the bag at third. The Pirate third baseman dove, but he came up empty. As I approached first base, I rounded the bag, and the ball rattled around in the left field corner. I cruised into second base standing up with a double. The fans erupted, chanting my name. Billy, Billy, Billy. I put my hands on my knees, and the tears were streaming down my face. The second base umpire called time. Hey, you all right? The second base umpire asked. Yeah, I'm fine, I replied quickly, wiping the tears from my face before I look up. I think I'm going to be okay. We went on to win our third game in a row as Dave Bolton hit a towering home run to dead center, driving me in and giving us a 3-0 lead. Later in the inning, with Bill Marshall batting for Jackson in the eighth, he walked. Jones tapped a little roller off to the side of the mound for an infield single. Adams hit a liner to second, with both runners just able to scramble back to first and second. That brought up Tavy, with Bond to follow. The fans were going nuts. Tavy took the first pitch for a curveball strike. He stepped out of the box and took a good long look at Red at third. Red had no play on, as he did not want to take the bat out of John's hands. He stepped back in and dropped the end of the bat in the middle of home plate. He then rolled his wrist and made big circles, just like Willie Stargell used to do. The pitch arrived, and John met it with a nice level swing and lined a one-hop single to left. The left fielder charged hard and made a perfect throw home, but Red had held Marshall at third. The bases were now loaded, and Reggie Bond was coming up. We were about to break this game wide open. The Pirate manager signaled for a new pitcher, but it made no difference. Reggie deposited the first pitch way over the right center field wall, a mammoth home run that had to travel over 450, clearing the bases and giving Reggie his first grand slam of the year and the Monarchs a 7-0 lead. Morse closed out another game with a perfect ninth with 2 strikeouts, and we had now won 3 in a row. The locker room was joyous, to say the least. You would have thought it was Times Square on New Year's Eve. Everyone was congratulating each other. Even I became so caught up in the clubhouse excitement that the previous day's events lay dormant in my mind. The team showed a lot of character tonight. Don Jackson brought me over a cold Coke and thanked me for getting the team started and giving him some breathing room. I told him the way he pitched, that one run was probably all he needed, which was true. You pitched a great game tonight, I said to Jackson. Did you feel good out there? He said, Are you kidding? He said with a big smile on his face. I left the bullpen with nothing. My curveball was flat. Everything I threw Bolton warming up was way high. I was surprised when I survived the first inning, but then it came to me in the second. I'll never figure it out. This is some crazy game, isn't it? Nice hitting. He shook his head as he got up and started to go over to his locker. He slapped me on the back. Bolton called a good game for Jackson. Catchers never get enough credit for keeping pitchers in a game. He knew he wasn't sharp, but he kept him on the whole time and kept after him to keep it down, hoping it would eventually work on him. I guess it was just what the doctor ordered, says Jackson as he got up from his chair next to mine. He looked at me and wanted to take his bat as soon as he said it. I'm sorry, he said. What a stupid thing to say. As soon as he said the words, he wanted to take them back, but it was too late. My mind started tracing back to last night's game. Chuck Curtin, Doc Martin, Emma and Joe Curtin. I needed to get dressed and needed to get to the hospital and find out what was going on, I thought. What am I doing sitting here gloating over a baseball game? Bill, don't worry. Don rushed over to say as he reached out, touching my shoulder, That was sure stupid of me. Sometimes I forget to engage my brain. Don't let me spoil the celebration. Don, it's okay, I replied, getting up. Hey, we all need to get on with it, don't we? It's all going to be all right somehow. Don noticed a little smile coming back on my face. He could sense how relieved he was by the way some nervous laughter escaped. Yeah, that's all right, Bill, said Dave. Things will work out fine, you'll see. As he excused himself to get cleaned up and go meet his wife, I could see how much pressure last night was putting on all of us, too afraid to say the wrong thing. Even those not directly involved couldn't remove themselves from some of the pain, even the sorrow. But tonight's celebration was just what the team needed. The season was off to a great start. I felt happy for Red, Mario, and Gus. They deserved a winner for a change. I was going to be a part of it. I was one of the first players to dress and leave after the game. Mario came back into the locker room to tell me someone was waiting to see me. I asked him who it was, but he said I'd find out soon enough. I pulled my dark blue knit shirt over my head and ran my fingers through my very damp hair to put it in some order. Whoever it was, it would just have to take me as I am. I kicked most of the other things into my locker and threw my uniform and towel in the laundry cart. I put on my black leather coat and headed out through the double doors into the corridor leading to the parking lot. There was Gloria waiting just outside the doors. I didn't quite know what to say. As soon as she saw me, she raced over and threw her arms around my neck and squeezed me like she would never let go. I immediately threw my arms around her, holding her tight, pushing her face hard into my warm neck. It felt wonderful. I didn't know how long we stood there holding each other, but it could have lasted forever as far as I was concerned. In a while, Gloria loosened her grip from around my neck, just enough to draw her head back and start to softly kiss my cheek near my ear. She then moved to my lips and kissed me in a circular pattern. I let her do whatever she wanted. I just stood there enjoying it all. The passion I was feeling started to make me more the aggressor as I joined into this remarkable kiss. Our breathing became labored and neither wanted us to stop. Our cheeks became very moist. I pulled back from the kiss to see tears were streaming down her face. She placed my fingers across my lips. Please don't say anything, she said softly. Can we just be quiet for a while? She kissed me warmly and passionately again. How could I say no to that? She pulled back and brushed her hands across her cheeks, wiping more tears away. I smiled and put my arms around her shoulders, leading us to the exit, not saying a word. I did not want to say anything stupid and spoil the moment. We got into the car, and I just started driving in no particular destination. We just got on I-91 North and headed toward Hartford. At the Capitol exit, I moved off the interstate and found a parking spot at Bushnell Park. I got out and opened the door for her. We walked back and forth around the park, holding hands but did not say a word. I found a bench and we sat for a while. I put both of my arms on the top of the back bench, looking up at the sky. I had to break the silence. I can't tell you what a pleasant surprise it was to see you while waiting outside that door at the ballpark. I said to Gloria, who was staring at the ground, I really needed someone to talk to tonight. If I could have picked someone, it would have